Republicans, no one is enjoying the Republican flop sweat right now more than Miss Nancy Pelosi, who could barely contain her glee when she gave Trump some professional advice. Watch.
I don't know if you want to call this, on Trump's part, a rookie's error, but you don't find a day and say we're going to pass a bill. You build your consensus in your caucus, and when you're ready, you set the date to bring it to the floor.
So she's basically calling him a rookie, which is another word for incompetence. And here's my question to the panel. If he can't close this deal, he's the great deal maker, how much will that damage his reputation as the great deal maker?
Oh. It's not just his reputation. And I mean, he ran on, yes, the art of the deal, but he also has to fulfill his promises. You've got, you know, Paul Ryan's neck on the line here. You've got Republican unity. There's so much on the line. But I will say the one thing that does restore my faith, there's nothing that bothers me more than partisan politics. People just voting down the Democratic line or Republican line.
It's been happening for quite a while now.
I know it's been happening, but I do, if anything, this is restoring my faith, because I do like that you have conservatives that are calling out Paul Ryan. This is not right, and we're not going to vote down party lines just because we're registered Republicans. So I do like the fact that there's some negotiating going on, and it has restored my faith a little bit in politics. And this plan, it's not right now. It's not right for America.
Wait, can I just ask a question? Is insurance not about, so let's say I want to get flood insurance and then your house floods. And I'm like, well, I don't want to pay for her house because that's not my house. I'm not going to pay for her flood. My point is that, like, with health insurance right now, these essentials that they have, is that what they're called, the essentials?
The essentials.
This guarantees that we're not leaving out people with mental health issues. This guarantees that in this opioid crisis we're having across the country, that we're making sure there's rehabilitation and all of these things.
Well, are you your brother's keeper or your sister's keeper?
Yeah, I just feel like that.
Are you?
That sounds
That's the question
great.
we have to ask ourselves.
That sounds great, and if everyone had a pot of gold and a rainbow and a ton of money, that sounds great. But the problem is that when you do that, when you mandate that insurance companies cover all these things, you raise costs. So people have to decide. Are costs important to you? Because if you want costs to go down, there's not an endless supply of money. Somebody has to pay for that.
Norway and Denmark have universal health care.
Why is it when you say costs have to go down, somebody has to pay for it? Republicans and you never say take a little more from the top of the most rich people in the country.
Every problem.
Why not? It solves it in every other country.
Rich people.
It does. It solves it.
You don't think rich people pay a lot of money in taxes? I'm not rich. Look, I've never been rich, but I have a lot of rich friends. They pay a lot of money in taxes.
What about?
And you know what? A lot of those people were poor once, and they struggled to get where they are.
And Donald Trump never paid any taxes, as we know. And still, he's worried about all this money that he has to take.
Things like the obvious, the pharmaceutical companies. You've got companies that are making cost on these medicines that could cure people that we charge an arm and a leg for. If you buy the same product, this is interesting. If you buy the same product for your dog in this country, if it's an animal medicine that's exactly the same chemically, you will pay less because it's for your dog. We're letting pharmaceutical companies get away with murder. They're a big problem here.
They are. And the insurance companies are as well. The problem that I have with this bill is that it is dependent on our insurance companies and our pharmaceutical companies being good corporate citizens. When is the last time you would describe one of those companies as good corporate citizens?
I wouldn't, but I also wouldn't consider the government a fair equalizer a lot of times. Obamacare has a ton of government involvement and regulation, and guess what? People's costs have gone through the roof. That's why they're coming out with alternatives.
Under the Affordable Care Act, a Harvard study just recently came out, I want to say just a couple of weeks ago. It has saved tens of thousands of lives, primarily because of those essential benefits.
We're talking about expenses. If this wasn't a hot issue, if you didn't have people saying, I can't afford this, it wouldn't have been a hot election issue. Republicans wouldn't have to come to the table with an alternative.
They voted
people
I don't know the answer.
And they're saying,
a lot of the people who voted this are going to get screwed. I'm just saying.
This is a bad bill. They should turn this down.